Okay. Assalamualaikum and a very good day to everyone. I'm going to start introducing of myself and continue with my group member. Okay, my name is Ahmad MUNAWWIR and my group member is Magan, Muhammad Hafiz and Muhammad SYAHIR. Okay, we are from BMP section 2. Okay, let's start our forum with the introduction of this forum. Okay, to begin with, how OSH management is implemented in the workplace is important. There are two acts in Malaysia that require all organizations to ensure the workers are safeguarded from any occupational hazards. Okay, the two acts that will be discussed today, first, factory and machinery, and the second one, occupational safety and healthy act. Okay, we continue with Shahir.
Factory and Machinery Act FMA 1967 or Act 139 is to provide for the control of the factory on matter relating to the safety, health and welfare of person and the registration and inspection of machinery. The first one is DOSH must certify and inspect certain high-risk machine such as boiler, unfire pressure vessel, passenger lift, and other lifting equipment such as a mobile crane, tower crane, passenger hoist, overhead traveling crane, and gondolas. Second is before they can be installed or operate in Malaysia, all factory and general machinery must be registered with DOSH.
Okay, that's great, Shahir. Okay, let us now turn our attention to OSHA. Okay, Muhammad Hafiz, just what is OSHA?
Okay, thank you to Ahmad Munawwir. Okay, first, the Occupational Safety and Health Act (OSHA) of 1984, Act 415 established the legal foundation for promoting, stimulating, and encouraging high level of workplace safety and health uh, through self-regulation system tailored to the industry or organization. The goal is to raise safety and health awareness and build effective safety organization and performance. The Act long-term purpose is to foster a healthy and safe work environment for all Malaysia employee and employer. Second thing is employees, self-employed people, designer, producer, importer and supplier of plant or substance all have responsibility under OSHA. Even though these are general duties, they come with a wide range of obligation. The Act established a comprehensive and integrate legal framework to address the safety and health of almost all the workers, as well as the general public who may be harmed by workers' action. That's all.
So, so let's move on to the role of OSHA legal requirements in business management now, shall we? So, OSHA, in my opinion, plays the most important role as where it contributes to reduced costs related with accidents and incidents, as well as an illustration employers will understand how costly it is to repair errors and problems if they do not have an OHS management system in their place. Employers who do not have procedures in place to detect and monitor accidents and incidents do not have a strategy for reducing the risks their employees encounter. Whenever an accident occurs, the organization's company will be behind schedule and vulnerable to the consequences. And employee compensation claims that raise business insurance prices, for example, the cost of employing temporary workers. However, there are additional indirect expenditures. The workforce is the company's most valuable asset, and every accident or incident will have an low moral in the workplace leads to lower productivity. Consider how a company's income will be affected by low productivity. A proper OHS management system will help to reduce the risk of incidents and accidents occurring, as well as the expense of dealing. This is because every employee will know exactly how to do. The organization's OHS performance will increase if every employee understands the exact protocol to follow and adopt the same technique every time. The organization will have a clear overview of every OHS related activity.
Okay, so I want to improve staff relation and morale. Employees will notice if their manager are genuinely concerned about their health and safety. They may not express it, but employer notice it in their level of engagement and on the job behavior. Employees may engage in unsafe behavior on the job, either intentionally or unintentionally in organizations that do not have an OSH management system in place. Employees may jeopardize their own or others' safety if there is no strong safety culture in place. When a company invests in an OSH management system, all of these chances all of this change. Employees will begin to feel more at ease and secure as a set of clear OHS practice in implement. After completing their training, they will know exactly what step to take in any situation, which will help them again, which help them gain confidence at work. When a company begin in to implement an OHS management system, it discover that employee productivity and morale improve, employee retention rate rise, and the business organization grow. Second, improve business efficiency. Implementing an OHS management system is one of the best way to improve business efficiency because it reduces business costs almost everywhere. The first one is to reduce the number of sick and 6 days taken by staff. Second is reduce the number of temporary worker that need to be hired. Exchange efficiency should be a strong incentive to act, and an OHS management system provide an unrivaled advantage over having no system or one with limit effectiveness. In almost every way, a strong OHS management system aids in cost reduction. Business will be experience lower accident and injury rate, avoid hiring and training temporary worker, and avoid having a replace or repair damaged property and equipment by reducing risk. With favor accident to investigate, the OHS management system lower the cost of accident investigation and assist employer in avoiding schedule delay that the business may face. Starting an OHS management system is one of the most profitable steps that any organization can take in a long run.
Okay, here I want to add 2 points from my opinion. So, which is improve public perception. So, serious health related incident and injuries do become public in today business, and they can ruin a company public image imperially. Consumers are less inclined to trust business that do not prioritize the health and safety of their employees. As a result, putting in place on OSH management system is prudent precaution. It demonstrates to employee that their employer regard their right to a safety and health workplace and intend to uphold it. This can help firm improve their public image over time, make it simple to hire and retain people. A solution where everyone benefit for both employer and employees. Second thing is financing is more accessible. Okay, obtaining funding from bank and investor is never simple, especially today is difficult business environment. However, demonstrating to potential investor that corporation is well managed require as OSH management system. There is sustained evidence that bank and investor will be more inclined to support companies that can demonstrate good management, which favor accident and injuries, as well as a set of clear standards to help the firm respond to any problem that occur. The company bottom line will be healthier and it will have a better chance of gaining investment that may not have otherwise.
Okay. This before we done about first act in OHS management, I want to add 2 points from my opinion. First, in the OHS role of OHS management is first increase regulatory compliance. As I mean, if a company does not have an OSH management system in place, the possibilities of accidental wrongdoing, whether through ignorance or human mistake, are relatively significant. A good OSH management system will keep all personnel in the firm up to date on current legal obligation in some organization. So this improve compliance with company policies and lower the danger of fine for company. And the second, my point is improve confidence. A comprehensive OHS management system help ensure the business staff members are better protected from various health threats and problems such as fall, injuries, recurrent stress injuries, vibration and sound effect, skin disease, and many more. So when employees feel safe at work, they are more likely to feel confident. As we have discussed, this focus on many of their other areas of work, such as productivity, efficiency, and retention rates. Adopting the OSH management system is a way of building confidence that show employees that the company is committed to the safety in the workplace. So this certification are some of the best point toward providing formal procedure for managing health and safety risks. So if employees see that you are actively looking after their health and safety, so relationship and confidence will improve between the manager and employee. So this will lead to a more productive and efficiency workforce. So that's all there is to OSH important roles in business management. Now we'll talk about the most important aspect of Malaysia's Occupational Safety and Health Acts. So Magan, could you tell us about Malaysia's Occupational Safety and Health Act and its key features?
So, okay, the Occupational Safety and Health Act is a federal law that aims to improve workplace health and safety requirements. What can you say about the Occupational Safety Health and Act of 1994 OSHA based on what you know about the Act?
Okay, the Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994, also known as Act 514, established a legal framework for the safety, health, and welfare of all Malaysian workers. The Act 514 states unequivocally that the responsibility for occupational safety and health at the workplace is shared between the employer and the worker because The employer provide the working environment that give rise to hazard at work, and the workers are the ones who have to work with this hazard.
Okay, additional, the principle is to prevent and protect workers from dangers and risks associated with their work activities. It requires that all business develop and document a safety and health policy, as well as the employers, employees, and safety and health officer responsibilities, corporation safety and health committees, and occupational safety and health inspections and officer.
What is the aim of the Act 514, often known as the Occupational Safety and Health Act of 1984, means OSHA 1984?
Let me answer your question, Hafiz. So, the goal of Act 514 is to protect workers' safety, health, and welfare from hazards and risks that arise from their jobs. The second goal is to safeguard those who are not at work from threats posed by people who are at work. Then to encourage people to work in an atmosphere that is tailored to their psychological physiological and psychological needs, then to establish a mechanism for gradually replacing the accompanying occupational safety and health legalization with a set of regulations and authorized industry codes of practice that work in tandem with the provisions of this act to maintain or improve safety and health standards.
Okay, the Occupational Safety and Health is law established to protect worker safety, health and welfare. Other than individual who perform job activity, the Act goal is to protect the safety and health of people in the workplace. This Act goal include promoting a workplace climate that conducive to employees' uh, psychological need. The Act also help to maintain or improve safety and health standard.
Okay, Muhammad Hafiz. There is a code of practice in the Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994. So, can you describe how code of practice is applied and how code of practice is used in proceeding?
Alright, that's the good question. Any code, standard, regulation, specification or provision relating to occupational safety and health that has been approved by the minister is considered an industry code of practice. Code of practice define the criteria which the effective of the measure taken should be assessed. The code of practice for HIV AIDS in workplace is example of it. The Department of Occupational Safety and Health Code of Practice can only be deemed an industry code of practice once it has been gazetted. Currently, guidance notes have been established for topics such as reproductive health in workplace, standing at work, confined space, and workplace first aid, which might be considered a code of practice.
Okay, so I want to add your point, Hafiz. This can become industry code of practice if they are recommended by the council or the director general, approved by the minister and gazette. Following that, the use of industry code of practice in court proceeding shall be admissible as evidence. If a breach of the industry code of practice is proven at any material time, the breach of the relevant provision is presumed to be proven unless the court is satisfied that the defendant complete complain in some other way that is at least as good as the code provision. Employers are advised to follow appropriate industry code of practice or to implement systems that are superior to those specified in the industry code of practice.
So, guys, I would like to add some points. That is, if there are 40 or more people employed at the place of work, every employer must form a safety and health committee in accordance with 30 of Act 514, or the Director General directs the establishment of such a committee at the place of work. So, my question is, who is on the committee for safety and health?
Okay, let me answer your question, Magan. A safety and health commit must include a chairperson, secretary, employer representative, and employee representative. The safety and health commit must be chaired by the employer or his authorized management according to the regulation. The authorized manager should receive a letter from authority when there are fewer than 100 people employed. There should be at least two representatives from both the company and employees. Where there are more than 100 employees, there should be at least 4 representatives from both the company and the employee. Employer representatives may include persons with supervisor duties, where employee representative may include those who are not in a managerial position.
Okay, Hafiz, as I know, a union representative on the safety and health committee would be beneficial. So a workplace may have more than one committee. If a single committee is unable to function successfully, for example, a major corporation with multiple locations may require separate safety and health committees at the management level and each of its location. So another example would be on construction site where the primary contractor or subcontractors may be required to form separate safety and health committee. So this will be determined by the number of employers at each location.
Okay, Megan. I have a question. So, what is the function of the safety and health committee in the safety and health organization?
So, Shae, according to the Act, the Safety and Health Committee serves a number of purposes. To begin, assisting in the development of safety and health rules and a safe work environment, as well as assessing the effectiveness of safety and health programs. Then, look into any issues with safety or health and bring them to the notice of the employers. Then, conduct research into the trends of workplace accidents, near miss accidents, risky occurrence, occupational poisoning, and also diseases.
Okay, for me, aside from that, the job is to discuss the observation made during the workplace inspection and provide recommendation to the employer on the corrective action to be performed on issue that may affect the person at work. Finally, to support the employer in any competition related to safety and health, as well as to conduct safety and health talk and any other activity performed to promote safe work practice at the workplace.
Okay, later, we are going to focus on two regulations in this 1994 Act, which are Occupational Safety and Health, Classification, Labeling and Safety Data Sheet of Hazardous Chemicals, Regulation 2013, and Occupational Safety and Health Officer Regulation 1997. Okay, proceed.
So Shai, can you explain what the term chemical means and what the chemicals definition is in these regulations?
Thank you, Megan, for the question. Okay, according to the regulation, chemical mean a substance or compound in its natural state are obtained through any manufacturing process, including any additive required to preserve its stability and any impurity resulting from the process used, but excluding any solvent that can be separated without affecting the stability of the element and its compound or changing its composition, and a chemical mixture, which is it mixture or solution composed for two more substances.
Alright. There are a lot of harmful chemical in the sector according to your reading of this rule. So my question is, what kind of chemical are protect from this act regulation?
Okay, Muhammad Hafiz, I will answer your question. So as I research, so a chemical which is a radioactive material as defined under the Atomic Energy Licensing Act 1984, which is Act 304, Schedule Waste as defined under the Environmental Qualified Schedule Waste Regulation 2005. So a cosmetic or product as defined under the Control of Drug and Cosmetic Regulation 1984 is not for sale in the market and does not exceed 5 kilograms in capacity. So the adequate information on the safe use of the chemical is made available by the supplier. A chemical which is a pesticide as defined under the Pesticides Act 1974, and finally a chemical in transit prior to export which is stored at any storage area. That's my answer.
Okay, there's numerous sub-regulation under this regulation, such as hazardous chemical classification, packaging, labeling, and safety data sheet. Megan, could you please explain briefly and how each sub has a play in their role?
So, thank you for the question, Shai. Based on my findings, there are principal suppliers whose jobs is to classify the types of chemicals according to the list of classified chemicals specified in Part 1 of the Industry Code of Practice. And if it is not listed in Part 1, it will be classified according to the chemicals' physical, health, and environmental hazards as specified in Part 2 of the Industry Code of Practice. Then, in accordance with Part 2 of the Industry Code of Practice, they will record the classification of chemicals as hazardous chemicals made under Regulation 4 in a specified manner. And finally, they will prepare and submit a report on classification of hazardous chemicals to the Safety and Health Officer for inspection.
Okay, Magan, as I continue your answer. So for the packaging part, the supplier must ensure that the hazardous chemical that will be supplied or transported meet the requirement, such as the container that will be filled with hazardous chemical must be carefully designed and constructed so that the chemical cannot escape unless a safety device is attached to the container.
Okay, from my view, a supplier will be required to label every packaging or hazardous chemical with information such as product identify, the supplier identification, the signal word, the hazard statement, the hazard pictogram, and the precautionary statement legally and audibly.
So thank you, Hafiz. And for the next question, we are going to focus on the occupational safety and health, which is Safety and Health Officer Regulations 1997. This is for the qualification for a safety and health officers who are a person who holds a diploma in occupational safety and health or the equivalent requirement as successfully completed training in occupational and safety and health or exam lastly, and she or he has been working in its field for at least 10 years. Based on the act, what are their main duties, Shai?
Okay, thank you, Megan. I got a point here. According to the occupational safety and health officer, their duty according to the regulation 1997 are to advise the employer or any person in charge of a place of work on the measure to be taken in the interest of the safety and health of the present employee in the place of work, and to inspect the place of work to determine whether any machinery, plant equipment, substance, appliance or process or any description or of manual labor used in the place of work is of such a nature that is liable to cause bodily injury to any person working in the place of work.
Aside from that, they will try to assist the safety and health commit and officer in any inspection of the place of work for the purpose of checking the effectiveness and efficiency of any measure taken in compliance with the Act or any regulation made under the Act. To collect, analyze and maintain statistics on any accident, dangerous occupational poisoning or occupational disease that has occurred at the place of work, and finally to carry out any inspection required by the Act.
Okay, Shahir, based on your answer, and who they submit the data and statistic of their jobs to, and what are their next steps?
Okay, according to the Act, safety and health officer must submit a report to their employer containing their activity 10 days before moving on the next month. The report submit under sub-regulation must include any action to be taken by the employer as well as the method for establishing and maintaining a safe and healthy working environment in the workplace in order to comply with the requirement of the Act or any regulation made under the Act.
So, guys, then it must include the number and types of accidents, near miss accidents, dangerous occurrences, occupational poisoning, or occupational disease that have occurred in the workplace, as well as the number of people who have been injured, whether they have lost time or not, and any types of machinery, plant, equipment, appliance, substance, or process, or any description of manual labor that are of such a nature that they are liable to cause bodily harm. Finally, the report must include any recommendations for changes to the structure or layout of the workplace in the interest of the employee's safety and health in order to keep the workplace safe.
Alright guys, following the submission of the report, will there be any repercussion?
Of course, Hafiz, strong measures will be implemented, and one of them is that an employer or any person in control of a workplace who receive a report under Regulation 19 will meet with the safety and health officer for no more than 2 weeks to address the report. So the report must then be countersigned by any employer or person in control of the workplace to confirm that he has received it, and it must be preserved in good condition for at least 10 years for the purpose of inspection or investigation by the officer if necessary.
So I come up with a conclusion. Finally, the Occupational Safety and Health Act of 1994 is a good law that Malaysia has established because it serves as a guideline for employers and employees to ensure their safety, health, and welfare at work. Furthermore, this legalization protects both employers and employees from hazards to their safety or health rising from work-related activities. Employers and employees can turn to this act for everything related to workplace safety and health, including the obligations that they should take at their workplace, enforcement and investigative methods, and so on.
Okay, so
Yes.
yes, I have a lot from today forum discussion.
We learned a great deal about those two acts and their key characteristics.
Thank you guys. I get more knowledge and info here.
Okay, so I hope we can have a future conversation and discussion for the new topic, but today has come to its end. So that's all from us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.